Okay, it looks as if we're ready to go. Okay, as a preliminary matter, my name is Ken Bogrand, Chair of the Community Preservation Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative, as I see you on the screen. Jack Gardner. Maria Zoda. Joe Topham.
Here.
Diane Coombs.
Yes.
John Trudell.
Here.
Tim Savarino.
Here.
Linda Williams.
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Glenna.
Here.
Kathy.
Here.
Anticipated speakers, Sarah
Here.
and Janice.
Here.
Thank you. This open meeting of the Community Preservation Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the committee. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Community Preservation Committee is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to share screen your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. As to the meeting business ground rules, we are now turning to the first item on the agenda. But before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of business and to ensure accurate meetings. I, as the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold your name as called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Turning now to the agenda, I would call the meeting to order as we do have a quorum. First, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as circulated. Is there such a motion? Is there a second? All those in favor, call by roll call. Jack Gardner, Maria Zoda, Joe Topham.
Aye.
Diane Coombs.
Aye.
John Trudell. Tim Savarino.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda are the approval of the minutes of July 21, 2020. These have been circulated.
You didn't ask me.
I'm
Yay.
sorry, Linda Williams.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of July 21, 2020. These have been circulated. If there are no comments, corrections, or additions, I would entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by
Second.
Maria. All those in favor, starting with Jack Gardner, Joe Topham,
Aye.
Maria Zoda, Diane Coombs,
Aye.
John Trudell, Tim Savarino,
Aye.
Linda Williams.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda are the fund requisitions. There are 3 fund requisitions identified in Roman numeral 1, items A, B, and C. Is there a motion to approve those fund requisitions as requested?
So moved.
by Ms. Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Topham. All those in favor? By roll call. Jack Gardner, Maria Zota,
Aye.
Joe Topham,
Aye.
Tim Savarino,
Aye.
John Trudell, Diane Coombs,
Aye.
Linda Williams.
Aye. And don't forget to say aye yourself as the chairman.
I, as a chairman, for all of the other three motions. Thank you. Any old business? There's no old business shown on the agenda. If there is no old or new or other business, Maria,
Maria, unmute yourself.
unmute yourself, Maria. You're muted.
You're on mute, Maria.
Maria, you're mute. On the bottom of your screen, there's a button that allows you to unmute.
Okay.
There.
I just want to confirm the deadline for the grant is September 11th on Friday,
No,
Or-
September 4th.
September 4th, and it's 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, September 4th.
Okay. And the other question is, Linda, if you wouldn't mind, could you check with Rob? Could we get a sense of the field house status? Has it gone out to bid? Do they have design plans? What's going on with that thing?
I think one of the reasons is because the town is so short of money because of the COVID, that they are holding a lot of plans that went through the capital improvements committee. I think they're holding a lot of these projects, and this is going to be in the bottom of the list, but I'll ask them what's going on.
John, you were raising your hand? John, were you raising your hand?
John, did you have a question?
Okay,
Yeah, I would appreciate that, Linda. 'Cause-
All right.
okay. Any
I'll
other
email.
items of old or new business or other business before we move to the CPC Annual Public Forum? Okay, so we are now on to the CPC Annual Public Forum.
Mr. Chairman?
Can you explain how this goes forward? Because I know that we recorded a welcome, a forward, and an introduction, and then we recorded the actual speakers, and they're here to be able to answer any questions from the public after they make their remarks. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're just going to need a few moments for Frank from NCTV 18 to move from this segment into the live NCTV 18 segment. So it's just going to take a few seconds, under 30.
Do we need to close our regular meeting and open the public forum, or are we
We
just?
do not.
No, we
Okay.
do not. We will continue this because that was the way it's published, and we will close the public meeting and our regular meeting at the same time at the end.
Okay.
Conservation Committee. We've granted over $50 million, which has been used for funding over 200 different island projects. Each year, we invite speakers from the three categories: historic preservation, affordable housing, and open space and recreation, to speak about how the CPC funding has helped preserve and or sustain their organizations. If you are interested in submitting an application for fiscal year 2022, please do so by September 4th this year at 4 o'clock at the CPC office, 4 Winter Street, in the rear, going up the right side of the building. Again, it has to be submitted by 4 o'clock on September 4. If it's after that, it cannot be opened and considered. You can find the welcome letter on the town website with detailed information for what needs to be included in the submissions. This year, we will hear from 3 people whose organizations have benefited from the CPC. The first will be Sarah Boyce, Director of Research and Education of the Linda Loring Foundation.
The Linda Loring Nature Foundation is dedicated to preserving and protecting Nantucket's biologically diverse ecosystems. The foundation's property, a living laboratory for research and education, advances broad community support for environmental understanding to respect the fragile habitats that surround us. The Community Preservation Committee for Nantucket has supported the Linda Loring Nature Foundation since its inception. In 2007, the CPC awarded $300,000 to the Nantucket Land Council to help purchase the development rights in the form of a conservation easement over Linda Loring's entire personal property of some 275 acres along Eel Point Road. With this essential funding, the Nantucket Land Council was able to ensure that the stretch of land between Eel Point and Nantucket Road would never be developed. With the conservation easement in place, the Linda Loring Nature Foundation became operational with an initial 5 acres in 2007. Now boasting a full 275 acres, the Linda Loring Nature Foundation continues to preserve the land as a wildlife preserve while creating opportunities to connect people of all ages with nature. Part of our mission to preserve and protect Nantucket's biologically diverse ecosystems continues as we manage the rare habitats that surround us. In 2017, the Linda Loring Nature Foundation received over $16,000 from CPC towards conservation management. These funds helped us to protect the landscape and manage for the rare species present. Specifically, we were able to hire a contractor for non-native invasive species removal. We were also able to build a shed to house our stewardship equipment, a necessity as we work towards being self-sufficient in our land management efforts. More recently, the CPC has helped us as we at the Linda Loring Nature Foundation focus our efforts to make nature accessible to all. Funding from the CPC in 2019 allowed us to install benches at points along our trails, purchase an ADA-compliant picnic table, and to hire a pair of consultants to help us develop the LLNF accessibility plan for the property. With the most recent CPC funding, we built on this previous work, initiating the first phase of a long-term plan for increasing accessibility to all who wish to enjoy nature at the Linda Loring Nature Foundation. The work funded includes improvements to the driveway, parking area, and trailhead, as well as creating handicap-accessible parking. The Linda Loring Nature Foundation is committed to removing barriers to nature access, and we look forward to learning more about how we can further achieve these goals. The Community Preservation Committee for Nantucket has continued to support the Linda Loring Nature Foundation in making our open space more accessible to a broader audience within our community, and to provide passive recreation and learning opportunities for all. We look forward to continuing this partnership in the future as we work toward the goals of providing the Nantucket community with access to our rare sandplain grassland and heathland ecosystems. We invite you all to enjoy the trails at 110 Eel Point Road. For more information about all that the Linda Loring Nature Foundation does, please visit our website at llnf.org. Thank you to the CPC and all that you've done for our Nantucket community.
Second presenter will be Janice Carrero, Executive Director of Outreach Programs of the Nantucket Interfaith Council, which runs.
Hello. I've been asked by the Nantucket Community Preservation Committee to share with you how help from the CPC has made a significant positive impact on the mission of our nonprofit, the Nantucket Food, Fuel, and Rental Assistance Program. With this support, we can continue to provide rental assistance to assist moderate and low-wage year-round island residents make their rental dwellings more affordable during a period of financial difficulty. We are not a permanent rental subsidy. We do provide assistance to Nantucket working families, to elders, and those with temporary loss of income by providing help with first and last month rent so that a household can move into stable, safe, and year-round housing and out of seasonal or overcrowded housing, or by providing a short-term monthly subsidy to reduce the household's overall cost of housing, or by paying a substantial portion of rent during periods of significant financial crisis due to a loss of a job or income, due to serious illness or injury, making it impossible for an individual or a member of their family to work and pay their rent. The maximum benefit for any given household is generally around $5,000 in any 12 to 18-month period. That is raised to $6,000 for seniors or those who are suffering from a long-term illness or injury. Applicants must be year-round residents, and payment is made directly to their landlord. In any given normal year, we assist approximately 50 to 60 households. But in this recently completed fiscal year, including the latest COVID shutdown period, we assisted 224 households. Rental payments made are generally around $200,000 to $250,000, of which the CPC provides one half of that funding. In total, because of COVID, in fiscal year 20, the payout totaled over $586,000. I know I don't have to tell you about the lack of affordable housing on the island, about the Nantucket Shuffle, where families are bounced back and forth between seasonal housing situations, about unpermitted and overcrowded housing situations. Finding an affordable rental in private sector housing is difficult and very competitive, and we could never build enough public sector or 40B housing to satisfy the current need. On Nantucket, housing remains a significant issue facing Nantucket's middle income and low-income families. So rental assistance does play a significant role in our community in keeping families housed. Under the CPC's affordable housing mandate, for the past several years, the Nantucket CPC has partnered with us through their grant program to provide funding to make these rental payments happen. Although we receive funding from several sources, grants and donations, the Community Preservation Committee and the Community Preservation Act is by far our largest source of support. And without it, many island residents would not receive the needed help they need to make their rental units more affordable. Our community is one of several CPC communities in Massachusetts to receive funding for a rental assistance program. But I dare say, this CPC has been one of the pioneers in providing this type of assistance. This year, due to COVID, the CPCs across the state have encouraged communities to look to the Act to keep people in rental situations housed. The CPC allows for funds to be used for the acquisition, creation, preservation, and support of community housing. According to the CPC's handbook, this allows for broad and flexible range of activities wherever a sound and rational link is made between the activity and its role in supporting community housing. Under this premise, the Act allows for the direct financial assistance to qualifying households to enable low and moderate income households to afford to rent or purchase housing by providing them with direct subsidies. On Nantucket, housing remains a significant issue facing Nantucket's middle income and low income families. A rental assistance program like ours provides people a short-term helping hand to enable them to be suitably housed while they begin to become self-sufficient in paying for their own housing needs. The average client assisted last year by our program lived on the island for 23 years and was 52 years old in age. Our clients have been contributing members of the community, providing needed services to the island and to all of us who live on the island. All are earning wages at or below 80% of the area median income, and many are paid below 50%. Our process consists of a careful review of the application, investigation of eligibility requirements, discussions with the applicant and their landlord, continuous follow-up during the time that a rental subsidy is provided, and then follow-up once the period of assistance is over. We cannot thank the CPC enough for all that they do for historic preservation, open space, and affordable housing on this island. Thank you.
Assistance program. The third speaker will be Neville Richin on the executive board of the American Legion.
I'm a member of the Byron L. Silvera American Legion Post number 82. I am also a member of the Board of Trustees of this post, which is located at 21 Washington Street. In the year 2015, the late past Commander Joe Lazowski was given the authorization by the members to seek funding from the Community Preservation Committee for the restoration of the exterior brick covering walls of this historic building, which is an example of an early whale oil storage facility. Prior to receiving the funding, we had to make sure that this project clearly fit within the goals and objectives of the Nantucket Preservation Trust in the restoration of historic resources critical to the community. Besides being a rare example of an early whale oil storage facility, the building has for over 90 years been a community asset, serving the local community and summer population since 1928. Its visible location on the waterfronts on busy Washington Street made it an ideal project to improve the historic character of the building and to highlight and recognize historic preservation on Nantucket. Prior to the restoration, a preservation approach to the masonry exterior was developed to guide the contractor working for the American Legion. The main task was to prepare a mortar analysis to determine the lime composition and color of the original mortar. Since the building may include an original lime wash or paint, this task also analyzed the coating. All the coatings had to be removed with a non-acidic pultized paint stripper to get down to the bare brick surface. They also had to identify areas of original mortar surfaces to serve as a mode for joint profiles and determine areas of repair as needed. They had to rake out all deteriorated joints to a depth twice their height using hand tools. No saws should be used to cut joints. They had to repoint using mortar, which was identified in the analysis study. This will likely be a high calcium lime mortar made from slate lime putty and sand. The joints had to be pressed back when partially cured and stipple mortar with a stiff brush for recoating with paint to match the original conditions if supported by analysis of coating samples. In addition to all of this, the work would also include scaffolding for the east, north, and west sides and purchases of materials. After all of this was done, the restoration of the historic building's exterior masonry work was performed using the best preservation practices to ensure longevity. This was done to achieve the project's objectives set by our late commander, Joe Lazowski. The restoration of this historic resource enables it to be enjoyed and well maintained for future generations. We, as the custodians of this historic facility, are grateful for the resources we received from the Community Preservation Committee for this project. Thank you.
After we hear from all of the speakers, we will have a Q&A session. To ask a question during the Q&A, please press the raised hand button and the moderator will call on you. Again, submissions for grant applications are due by 4 o'clock on September 4, 2020. Thank you for joining us this year via Zoom, and please stay safe and healthy.
You're on, Ken.
Are there any people looking to ask questions? You're on mute.
Sorry. At this time, I'm not seeing any raised hands on the participant side or the YouTube live side.
I do have a question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
The south wall of the Legion was stuccoed over and painted red. I remember when that really should be fixed. I don't know if they have any intention of coming in with that south wall. Joe was the one who was the driving force on the other three sides. So it's probably a conversation I'll have with Neville.
Okay. Are there any other comments? What was the reaction to each of you to this approach with respect to the videos and the content of the videos?
I thought it was fantastic, the whole thing. We should do that every year.
I'd like to give thanks to Glenna and to Frank for organizing and pulling all this stuff together. Because there was a lot of thought that went into it. And again, thanks to Sarah, Neville, and Janice for the hard work that they did in terms of the thoughtful presentations that they made as to the relevance of the CPC to the initiatives of their nonprofits. If there are no further questions or comments, I would then entertain a motion to adjourn both the committee meeting as well as the annual meeting of the Community Preservation Committee.
Maria had a
Hold on
hand
just
raised.
a moment. I'm sorry. Pardon me, Mr. Chairman. I just saw something come in.
From
Bear with
Posey.
me one moment.
Yeah, there was a comment I saw from Posey Constable.
Right, I do see Posey Constable here. She has not asked a question. Yes, this is, okay. Yes, Posey. She says, as this is her, well, let me just allow her to talk. Posey, do you have a question? I don't know where she went.
Why don't you read her comment?
Sure. Just bear with me one moment. I'm scrolling down to see it in its entirety. As this is her first CP town hall, she wanted to commend all for this excellent presentation. I am so grateful for the support of CPC for our past and hopefully future grant requests. That is from Posey Constable.
Sustainable Nantucket. Okay, if there are no other comments or from the committee or from the viewers, I would entertain a motion, as I said before, to adjourn both the committee meeting as well as the annual public forum.
So moved.
Moved by Linda Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Jack Gardner? Joe Toppel?
Aye.
Linda Williams?
Aye.
Tim Savarino?
Aye.
John Trudell?
Aye.
Ken Bogrand? Have I gotten everybody?
Diane?
Diane.
Oh, and Diane, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That is unanimous. Thank you all for participating. Again, thanks for everybody for the hard work. And our next meeting is September 18, which will be the first meeting after we have received the requests on September 4th. Is that correct, Glenna?
That is correct.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Glenn.
you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Way. Enjoy your visit